Like and subscribe right now, or you will find diamonds before iron. Restaurants fight back against Karens. We survived a pandemic. We'll survive your shitty Yelp review. When seatbelts were first introduced in 1968, there were idiots who insisted they infringed on their freedoms and would physically cut them out of their cars. We make fun of those people now. Can you guess who we'll be making fun of in 2072? At Dollar General, this boomer started butching at the cashier because the card reader thing froze up, and I said, hey, give her a break, it's not her fault. Then when she started butching at me, everybody in line started yelling at her and she left in tears, and it made me happy. Karen has been around since at least the 1900s. In the early 1900s, Marshall Field's department store hired professional scapegoats, or fired men whose only job was to take the blame and be fired to appease disgruntled customers. In retrospect, hiding all the microchips in horse dewormer was a stroke of genius. People aren't born Karen. Two mothers from Morongo Valley take off their masks and say they'll homeschool their children if masks are required in classrooms. If the people who call everyone else sheep could stop taking livestock medication, that'd be great. If you ever ask to speak to the manager and this guy walks out, just say thank you and leave. No, he is there to do his job, and that is to hear what I have to say. He may not like it, but it is his job. Twitter/LinkedIn Janine Hoskovec is excused of coughing on a mother and daughter at a Nebraska grocery store in a viral video. My husband and I have shopped here consistently for years, but we will use a different location from now on. They will literally lock the doors right in your face if you show up 2 minutes after closing. You're entitled not to get vaccinated. You're entitled to not wear a mask. How dare you feel entitled to take up a hospital bed, medical care and equipment for your covered infection when innocent people who can't help themselves need that space, attention and medical equipment. Well, Karen, they're called condos, not masks, if that helps. Herpes, AIDS, and hepatitis are all fear users, so they tell us. Ever see anybody wear a mask to prevent the spread of any of those? Yeah, me neither. When I see rich, snooty looking women at the grocery store, I pretend I need something and say, excuse me, do you work here? Just to help keep things real. Male Karens are out in force in Wisconsin. Unmasked, unmuzzled, unvaccinated, unafraid. When you wanna speak to the manager of the moth lab. Some of y'all have never been yelled at by a middle-aged white lady about something wildly outside the realm of your pay grade while working in the service industry, and it shows. How many Karens does it take to make a sign like this? Upland is not responsible for bugs that have made their way into your beer or food due to sitting outside. A parent sent their child to school after a positive Cupid test. More than 80 students may have been exposed. A white woman in Raleigh, North Carolina called a black woman the M-word and said she would do it again because she felt forced into using the racial slur because she thought the black woman was being too loud at a restaurant. Good night you all. Raleigh woman defends use of racial slur. A woman says her family's holiday to Pontins was ruined by people smoking dogs at the holiday park. Says a security guard refused to do anything, and when she asked him what his job actually was, she claims he said a better job than yours, because I don't have holidays at Pontins. 3 stages of Karening. The call. Hello. 911. Yes. They're being black. In public. The dare. Go ahead. Post your video. The meltdown. No, I'm so misunderstood. I'm the least recess person I know. I worked with a black lady. We never spoke, but she was there. I have a Prince CD. I just want customers to know, when they complain we don't get in trouble. We just make fun of you later. So who's the real loser here? Simone Biles won nationals with broken toes in both feet. Worlds with a kidney stone. and has carried the burden of being a face of sensual assault survivors as a national institution failed to support them. Half of you all yelling about toughness can't handle wearing a mask in Wegmans. Tell your child to not trust anyone on the internet. Believe that every article on Facebook is absolutely true. One of the earliest Karens was a Carolyn. She caused the lynching of Emmett Till, a 14-year-old child, in 1955. Emmett Till's accuser is still alive. Her name is Carolyn Bryant Donham. Just heard fireworks. Better post on the community page as soon as possible. As a parent, it's so sad some people have come to this. Parental rights over child's health. Buys house next to pub. Complains when pub is noisy. Dear customers, can we please ask that you whisper whilst in our garden? This is due to the fact that we have some neighbors that forget they live next door to a pub and not a library and have nothing better to do than run to the council and whinge. So my 9-year-old is watching this because she has started gymnastics, and out comes every idiot word in the book. You need to clean up your act and act like an intelligent human. Did you ever consider kids might watch this trash? She can't unhear this. Thanks for that. YouTube isn't your kid's babysitter. We are so glad you are here. We apologize if our service is a little slower. Please be kind to our employees that are working hard to serve you. Duncan. A reminder on Karen's doing the confession. Confession today, Saturday, will be until exactly 5:30 p.m. There is only one priest available for confession today. Make your confession direct to the point and confess only your sins and offenses. No need to explain why you did it. Thank you very much. Cupid Karens in a nutshell. How conspiracy theorists think they look. How they really look. When church is over and you're on your way to verbally assault a waitress. What people think customer service is. What customer service really is. Karen places an $11 order and thinks she now owns us. But we created a clause especially for her. Hi, I was expecting your message. We decided to refund you under our Karen clause when you treated our staff badly and started demanding that we overnight a single glass to you and overnight the next one when it arrives. We are in our rights to refuse service and refund clients, which is what we did here. Please do not use us again, as we will do the same with further orders. Probably the best license plate. Someone said emo girls were just gothic Karens and now I can't look away. Yo, like old people give our generation so much shit for being rude and disrespectful, but in my 5 years of working at a fast food restaurant I have never once, not once, been abused or spoken rudely to for any reason by a young person. You know who yells at me when the restaurant is busy and their order takes a little longer? When there's a mistake with their food. Acehole middle-aged people. You know who smiles and says it's okay? Teenagers and little kids. The new Halloween is gonna be about Michael Myers being confused that no one is out on the streets to kill, and then meeting some angry blonde lady yelling at him for wearing a mask. Male Karen in my city. I will not apologize for being white. Something to think about. Think kids should wear masks? Think again. You'd never be able to really tell if they needed help moments before this post was made. A school district opted out of free and reduced price meals, saying students could become spoiled. Waukesha is the only eligible district in Wisconsin that plans to opt out of the universal meal plan, a decision met with calls, petitions and rallies. How Karens always think they know better. High school graduate, bachelor's degree, master degree, PhD, Karen's 5G blog. Anti-vaccine extremist who wanted to get Cupid to prove it was like food poisoning, says she's in so much pain after catching virus. Wearing a mask is tyranny. All lives matter. Get me the manager. Go back to your own country. The 4 Karens of the apocalypse. Good lord. Why? Don't call me Karen. Karen art at Chicago Museum. I can't breathe. If you can't breathe, then take that silly mask off. Just saw a woman at the vet refuse to put a mask on. She not only screamed at the vet tech, but then made a scene when they offered her a rainbow mask, to which she relied, "I'm not ducking gay, I won't put this on." The entitlement is nausea inducing. My friend's cousin was presented this at work. Massage parlor. Today. Face mask medical exemption card. I have a medical condition that prevents me from wearing a mask or face covering. The fate of an old school Karen. He said licking rats was his right. I know exactly how you feel. I had to wear a mask in Home Depot once. Woman sues McDonald's after she saw an advert for cheeseburgers and broke her fast for Lent. Woman sues McDonald's after a burger advert made her break her fast. This restaurant unfortunately has really gone downhill since 5 years plus ago. It used to be an exclusive restaurant only for the truly wealthy, but now is catered more to the middle class who want to feel special and rich. Lol. One person used to be $500 to $1,000. Now for a mere $50 you could probably eat here, not including alcohol. What a joke. Never going back. Never ever again give Bakery Plus on 211 business. I'm a 15 years loyal customer and purchase 5+ cakes a year. But they don't need business, I was told today. I walk in with my mesh mask on. I'm told you need a real mask and to go outside. The lady, double masks, brings the cake outside, puts it down on the bench. I'm like, you know masks do nothing right. So I ask if they will put on their website when they stop requiring masks. She says we'll, I guess, when Cupid is over. I start laughing and told them they just lost a loyal customer. She said, good, we don't need your business anyway. So I know all my family will boycott them. I have a list of local businesses that I will never again give an ounce of my money. British tourist puts in complaint after holiday to Spain was ruined by too many Spanish people. Retired care assistant Frida Jacobson has bizarrely, brazenly and rather heroically put in a complaint to Thomas Cook after claiming her holiday in Benidorm was ruined by the presence of far too many Spanish people. Anti-mask protest held outside of a high school in Lake County, Indiana. Follow the science. Unmask the kids. Fake science. Fake election. Vaccine bioweapon. Graphene oxide. Trust in God. It's nice when things are clearly labeled. If you're wondering how intelligent the anti-lockdown / anti-masker crowd is, they are currently out and about protesting restrictions that lifted 15 hours ago. Fun facts with Squidward. Someone kicking you out of their place of business because you're an asshole is not a breach of your rights. It's them exercising their own. This is what we need in every store. Mask required for service. Mask required for service. Mask required for service. Mask required for service. Do not pout. Do not whine. Do not argue. Do not garrus the employees. Do not spout conspiracy theories or regurgitate misinformation you got from your dumb uncle on Facebook. This isn't political. It is basic health and safety. Do not choose to be the reason the rest of the world is laughing at us. I forgot it in my car. Well, go get it then. This is unconstitutional. No, it's not. This is a hoax. You're an idiot. Woman accused of recess punching 6-year-old Asian boy in the neck in Las Vegas. I won't inject chemicals into my body. Cupid vaccine. Botox. I will not be returning and will be requesting an official refund. Angry parent to boycott Yorkshire Parker's son. 2. Falls in cheap poo. Karens in Wisconsin after they took away free lunches for children. You just finished loading your car at the market. Do you return your cart to the corral or leave it where it is? Leave it. It's someone's job security. I was working in a movie theater in France. A customer started an argument with my manager, who was a highly functional alcoholic, and did not give a duck about pleasing Karens. She stupidly went, "The customer is king," to which he replied, "We are in France, we decapitate kings." They gave me a discount. The waiter was even shocked. He said, "Wow, you're right. Man shames restaurant by weighing steak at the table to prove it is underweight." Hello, if you don't be a sheep and wear a mask, I will tip you an extra 15 cash. Just trying to make sure people aren't sheep. Hey Timothy, I'm sorry, but my health is worth more than $15. I'm on my way now. Okay, you'll be getting a bad review, idiot limited. Thanks, I left your food on the porch. Merry Christmas. Have fun living on unemployment after I get you fired. Don't start with me, Karen. It was thundering and lightning. I thought I was going to die. Karens across America. Florida Karen. New York Karen. California Karen. Minnesota Karen. Texas Karen. Connecticut Karen. The mask is not the cure. Karens across America. Part 2. Alabama Karen. Jersey Karen. Virginia Karen. Pennsylvania Karen. Oregon Karen. Ohio Karen. I find it offensive and derogatory that everyone keeps using the name Karen as a negative connotation, including the media. It's getting so an opinion can't be made without all the PC crap. Maybe all us Karens should trademark our name and sue everyone who uses it in a negative way. We'd be rich. What's the male equivalent to Karen? Is it Matthew? I feel like it's Matthew. Karen is a recess term. Be careful about adding to this. The final Karen all flight attendants have to defeat. Karen posts angry message on Amazon's FB page about delivery driver. Unacceptable. Big blue Amazon delivery van pulls up. Windows down. Blasting hip hop on its sound system loud enough I can hear it in my house. Not turned off when the driver exits to make the delivery. Not turned off for another 5 minutes as he checks schedule or whatever. Bad enough an intrusion at any time. But near noon on a Sunday? Outrageous and unacceptable. This was about 11:40 am. The 7th of November 21. Truck number 19. Or, if not, ending in 19. Doing its thing on Dearborn Street, Pittsburgh. Near Millvale intersection 15224. Next time I'll get a license plate hash and call the police. What the duck? Amazon? Is this who you employ? Can only imagine what this gem is like. Unmasked, unmuzzled, unvaccinated, unafraid. Karen wants to end recess against white POC. I don't appreciate the use of racial slurs. That's uncalled for. Karen is a racial slur. Yeah. It's a derogative towards white women of color. White women of color? Are we just making things up now? We're one of the most marginalized groups of minorities. I have a many tweets explaining it on my timeline. I won't waste my time educating you. A sign at the produce store that I frequent. Reminder. The cashiers don't make the prices. My guinea pig wants to speak to your manager. Walmart self-checkouts. Just got back from Wally World. There are no regular cashiers, only self-checkout. I complained to the manager, who was very rude, and he said the regular registers were down, and he had contacted corporate, even though self-checkout were working. I called BS. I told him I don't work here. He said a lady at self-checkout could help me. She tried to bag my large tomatoes with a bag of potato chips. I told her you don't bag those together, so I bagged them separately. The day Wally World goes full on self-checkout is the day I stop shopping there. Karens when Newton discovered gravity. We will not fall down with 9.8 meter per second squared. My mass, my choice. Gravity is communist. British Karen complains because donuts hurt her feelings. Box of 3 plain Jane Yum nuts. M&S in hot water with mom's over offensive name of £1 bakery item. I just think M&S should know better. It bothers me that my neighbor takes a shower between 9 and 11 PM. I asked her to shower early and she does not obey me. It is very late and the sound of the shower takes away my peace. What do I do with it? I saw a post about the original Karen from 1957, but Carolyn Bryant Donham might be the original Karen. She falsely accused Emmett Till of offending her in 1955. It's trash. You can see from the response what type of establishment it is. Response from the owner: you've never even been to my restaurant. You left a review because you lost an internet argument with my family member on Facebook. You are a sad, pathetic human being, and just know we feel bad for you. Do not, I repeat, do not eat at Hannah and Cape Coral. I asked to speak to a manager very calmly due to the rudeness of the hosted, and she called the police on me for no reason. Such a waste of our law enforcement's time. Had a witness that I did absolutely nothing. Terrible, absolutely terrible. An OG Karen circa 1939. This dog wants to speak to your manager. Oh my ducking god. Oh my god is sufficient. Oh, 1,000 apologies. I assumed I was among adults sharing historical photos and seeking the perspective of other adults in the group. Only the most pretty and precious would be offended by my input. You better stop, or she'll call the manager. Sign next to a restaurant. No Karen. You can't talk to the manager. Anti-vaxxers. Any question about their vaccination status? Is this hip hooray? Found this while going on a riverside hike. Duck off Karen. The incremental steps to total enslavement. No mask. No entry. No vaxx. No entry. No chip. No entry. Male Karen complains that Ben Nevis, Great Britain's highest mountain, is too steep and too high, and leaves it a 1-star review. Very steep and too high. This was almost a full day's climbing, and my girlfriend was crying at one point. When we did get to the top, there was nothing there. Mount Snowdon has a pub, restaurant and toilets at its top. Luckily we had brought some sandwiches and drinks, so anyone else climbing this one, be warned there are no facilities at the top. The climb basically went on for far too long and the last part was particularly steep and difficult. It was also cloudy at the top, so the view was non-existent. The long walk back down was boring, and again took too long. The Palestinians in this town are out of control, illegally blocking traffic. Easy Karen, they are just having some fun. The original Karen. I was looking for a local dog groomer and found this gem. The only 1-star review. Today the 18th of September 20, after frequenting the store regularly throughout the pandemic 2 to 3 times a week and the groomer every month religiously, today I was denied service because I cannot wear a face mask. I was told that if I did not put on a mask to drop off my dogs they would not give me service. The very person to tell me this is the person who has been washing my dogs every month for the last year. We even stopped to visit with her between visits, so the dogs become more familiar with her. They are already afraid of her. Did I happen to mention that I was also wearing a Trump t-shirt? We were verbally assaulted by a Petco employee named Alexandra. They acted so aggressively I felt fear for the safety of me and my dogs. Not sure why. At a time when the news is reporting a decline in cases and deaths from the pandemic, they would suddenly enforce a discriminatory practice towards handicapped person unable to wear a mask and happens to be wearing a Trump t-shirt. This lady discovered Hot Topic, facial piercings, supernatural merch and hair dye all in one day and a shock. You guys, we have to do something about the store Hot Topic. I went in there today with my daughter Ashley just to see if they had any of those cute little pop figures of Carrie Underwood, and I was just in shock by the merchandise they sold. This store gladly promotes Satanism and the home sensuals. I asked to speak to a manager regarding their horrid merchandise, and this young lady with colorful clown hair and piercings all over her face said that she was the manager. Quickly told her never mind, grabbed my daughter and left the store, because with the good Lord as my savior I wasn't about to talk to a store full of gay satanic clowns. As a woman of faith I will pray for the Hot Topic and their employees who desperately need the Lord's guiding light, because it's poisoning the minds of our kids. face masks do not stop Cupid per science, but does support the evils of Marxism. Change my mind. Take a longer ham sandwich for your artist if you don't want to be sitting for half an hour waiting after your appointment time while they use your tattoo bed as a dining table. Hi. We appreciate your feedback. We are sorry that you had to wait while our staff member ensured his blood sugar levels were stable to give you his best work possible for your permanent tattoo. We hope to see you soon. The team at. Thank you for fixing my glasses. I really appreciate it. And of course I like you. You're my brother now. I just like giving you a hard time sometimes. I'll try to be nicer. And I'm setting you up with my friend. I wouldn't do that if I didn't like you. I do not want to on the double date. And please don't try to set me up with anyone. And please don't give my number out to people who are strangers to me without my permission, like you did with this girl. Thank you. Have a good night. Cool. We don't have to speak anymore. I was trying to be nice to you, but you're being an ace-hole. Oh, and go duck yourself. Hello. I'm an actual Karen and think this is a riot. Please refrain from using my name as an insult. That's something a Karen would say. Wait, a Karen. Karen, you guys made the impression for yourselves. If you told me at 13, leaving a rave, that I would be wearing the same exact outfit to the corner store as a mom in Mexico over 25 years later. Karen's trying to fire every bad employee she sees. It ain't much, but it's honest work. Loudoun County, 2021. Little Rock, 1957. Same energy. So when I go out to eat, I always order a sweet tea, an extra glass of ice, and a side dish of lemons. I ask for a side dish because I use about 3 lemon wedges per glass and will drink about 4 glasses while sitting there. I go to Cracker Barrel today for lunch, which I eat there about 3 to 4 times a week, and ordered my usually drink ensemble. Today, the waitress says she will need to charge me $2.99 for a fruit cup for the lemons. What? She said they are now limiting lemon wedges to 2 per person. The older couple didn't ask for lemons with their drinks, so I asked if I could have their 2 lemons each. How do I spread those 2 lemons between my 4 glasses of tea? And exactly how many lemons come in a fruit cup? Aren't lemons considered a condiment at this point? Is the apple butter going to be charged as a fruit cup if I order an extra cup? Me whenever a Karen tries to complain to me about how the coffee was slightly darker than usual. Do I look like I give a shit? Cause I don't. When I went to school my teachers cared for us. I remember them trying to find summer jobs. I know some people devoted to teaching, but I abhor these lazy, self-serving ones who hold the children they love, yeah right, hostage when they go on strike. Can someone tell them they are paid for a year when they work hard 180 days a year? A snowflake lets them stay in bed. Will a real teacher speak up? A gym teacher I know made a comment. You should see what I get paid to bounce a ball. Oh, and I read they need special care in their teacher's lounge. No respect for the 180s. Anti-vaccine protesters tried to storm the BBC's offices, but they had the wrong address. Anti-vaccine protesters tried to storm the BBC's offices. They did their own research. Karen doesn't want vaccine because she believes vaccine causes autism and contains microchip in it. Me doesn't want vaccine because I'm afraid of the needle. Maybe I'm a Karen. Little grotty staff here made a false report to police that I wasn't complying with mask regulations as a get back for complaining about one of their staff members. I was wearing my mask and wear it every time I leave my house. Scumbags. Don't be bowling people who for medical reasons can't wear a mask. That's discrimination. Yes, I have an exemption, but by law I don't have to show it to anyone who works in a supermarket. Not even a police officer can ask to see it. It's a face mask, not a Star of David or pink triangle. You whiny, privileged dolt. You're not being shoved into a cattle car and taken to a camp. You're going to Walmart for Twinkies and Diet Coke. Grow up. I will not be masked, tested, tracked, poisoned or chipped to support this orchestrated lie. This is not my new normal. I do not consent. If you are grouchy, irritable or just plain mean, there will be a $10 charge for putting up with you. Karen. I can't breathe with a mask, I have a medical condition. Also Karen. I went to McDonald's today to get the kids some food. It was busy and it took forever. I wasn't mad. I get it. I work in the food industry. We are all understaffed and overworked. As I was sitting in my car waiting for my food, I could hear the lady in front of me bitching at the kid at the window about how long it took to get her order. Literally yelling at a kid who is probably 16 years old, like it was his fault she had to wait a few extra minutes. If you are in that big of a hurry, make your own food. The kid at the window shouldn't have to take abuse from a grown-ass person. Stay home if you don't know how to act. Shout out to the kid at the McDonald's on West Saginaw who had more class than a woman more than twice his age. Yesterday, I was standing in line at a local store. I was wearing a mask, but the woman behind me wasn't. Those masks don't prevent Cupid, she said. I told her, not really, but didn't you hear about the new spy technology Biden has enacted to keep track of all of us? The mask blocks that facial recognition software and the government can't follow us. She said, really? Where'd you find that out? I saw it last night on Fox News. They had the machines on there and everything, and showed how wearing a mask makes it useless. We can really prevent Biden's plans if we wear masks. And as I left, I heard her on the phone telling someone, help Karens being oppressed. In the US you are free to live as you wish unless you're white, straight, Republican, a gun owner or Southern. I peeked over my fence and I think my neighbor is growing Mary Jane in his garden. I don't want my kids or your kids to get high from smelling it or being near it when they are playing in the neighborhood. The 911 dispatcher told me someone would come out, but nobody has shown up all day. Since the cops won't do anything about it, I might go chop them down to save our kids myself. Just look at his Mary Jane for yourself. The nerve of this bastard. Wearing a mask. Prison. Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. Karens. They're the same picture. Starbucks employee complains about 22 drink order. You made us all quit. Poor little thing. Try working as a first responder or any other healthcare giver. Oh, I forgot. That requires education further than high school.